Hey, everybody. Give me a second. Hey, Sass. Hold on, let me,
If I get real lazy, this chair will actually lift you up and like throw you out of it.
I just got my new microphone.
So, hold on, let me get my, it's okay, Tanya. I'm just like, I'm just kind of numb to it. Hey, Mimi of 6. We just want to say this right now. And so that whole thing, like, was a setup to try to get Fred in a position where they could just sit there and drill him with questions. And I'm talking about Ernie's panel. We are very disappointed that Fred trusted Ernie with information, and Ernie chose on his own behalf to put it out. He had put out a picture wrong, okay? When he was putting out this information, all we said is that all Fred had told him is that he knew of somebody that lived around that area that was Vice Lords, okay? He told him who. Ernie goes and looks up more into this person, and he pulls up pictures, and he mixes two people into one, and they do look alike. In his defense, they do look alike, okay? Very understandable mistake, okay? Very understandable he mixed them up. But Fred was like, well, they both are from the same gang, is what Fred was telling him. Fred does know of both these guys. But he was not talking about the one in Kingsport. That was Ernie that accidentally showed that one's picture, and Fred was just stating that they were both part of the same gang. That's all he was saying. So I don't know why Ernie started. I knew from the beginning it was a setup, and we're talking about Ernie's live just a little bit ago. And me and Fred were talking beforehand. Like, even Fred came to me and said, I hope that this isn't some freaking setup, because Ernie was acting weird and saying things like this was going to be his last live. Then when he started the panel, I knew that Benny had been, like, making little jabs at us lately. And Ernie had mentioned something about Benny at the beginning. So I was like, yeah, we immediately knew that it was a setup, okay? And you guys, I'm live over here every fucking day, almost, or a lot. These people all have my phone number. Benny has my direct phone number. He could always ask Fred questions anytime he wants to. We're not going to make a shit show and a big circus show out of Summerwell's case. Like, we did not want... Fred does not like the attention. I don't know how many times I have to fucking say that. He does not want to go on anybody's panel. It's not that he's like, he will answer questions if you message him. He did not ask for this to happen in his life. Like, I'm the one that put it on YouTube, guys. Okay? I did. He never has chose to be a part of this YouTube thing. What he's done is his own willing things. He doesn't want to be a YouTuber. He doesn't want to be your little circus act that comes up on your panel and you get hundreds of, thousands of views. That's why. And then Ernie, and then he starts letting people up like remain calm, all these. And I'm like, dude, you did this shit on purpose. And I'm not going to be a part. We're not going to be a part of the games. So it's disappointing. Ernie pretty much admitted at the end that it was a setup because he said, because basically what the type of stuff he was saying, I could tell where it was going. Fred and I, neither of us, had anything to do with this tip of Paul Hill. We don't know anything about anything to do with that area, nor does Fred, as far as like with the Summer Wells case. We're blindsided just like you guys. Fred did not call in this tip. You guys, if you want, he did not call it in. Why would we lie to you guys? We did not call in this tip. So we can't win for nothing. It's either we called it in or you're saying, then at the other end, it's like, oh, we're calling it in. So you guys are trying to get this guy mad at us or mad at Fred, making him think that, oh, we brought him in the middle of this shit. We didn't have anything to do with any type of tip that got called in at the 3500 block of Van Hill Road. And I hope to God, whoever that article is that put that shit out and put out his name, they correct it, or somebody in law enforcement comes out and corrects or gives us more details, because it's a bunch of bullshit. Well, it's really too bad because Fred really, he liked Ernie. He was trying to help him with information, but I'm sure he's ruined that now. Oh, there's people that think that we had a part of it, that girl, or that Fred did. Yeah, 1 second. Is that better? So it was said that Dolly Vision said something like we called the tip in, or Fred. No, we did not. And then there's other people, insinuating, because it's Fred's uncle. Fred and this guy is two totally different people. Besides, they don't, I'm not going to keep talking about this. People can watch my last live. It was Jetson. Sixup was waiting in line. Yeah, and you guys, that was all done for views, for a shit show. We're not being a part of that stuff. And I'm sorry, I will say this right here and right now. I am sorry out of anger, okay? Out of anger, I said something about Benny and his probation, okay? I am sorry that I said that. Yes, somebody told me that his mom was out of town and stuff. Yes, and I'm sorry. but I was mad and just is like, you know, and I do apologize about that part. It is conniving. Like, nobody has to trick us into anything. We're here every day. You have, you know, so that was totally the whole point of that live was dirty to begin with, you know, to try to trick us, you know, because Ernie's sitting there messaging Fred, being like, will you please be there and chat and let people know it was a scent dog and not a cadaver dog? And, you know, but we had a bad feeling, like, because we knew something was not right. Because all he wanted to know was, like, why did he mention something about a cadaver dog hitting over on his property at 207? Ernie wanted to know. And why he said it was a cadaver dog. Fred didn't know the difference in dogs. He's not a dog, like, cadaver or, you know, cadaver or scent dog expert. He just said, because I guess assumed it was cadaver dogs and the way he said it. So that's all that was to that. And so Ernie acted like he wanted Fred to be there to clear that part up. But at the same time, Ernie has Benny Key show up and certain other people to sit there and be there in line to try to basically try to trick Fred to get up on panel. And when I finally do get up on panel, when Benny convinces me to come up on panel, I'm like, fine. You know, it was definitely not good there for about 10, 15 minutes. It was very bad, and I was highly upset. I don't take this shit as a game, guys. Do not bring us in your games, please. Why? He could come right here, Cat, in the chat. You can ask right here in my comments. He answers questions. No, he doesn't have to go over on other people's panels to answer your guys' questions. He could do it right here. He doesn't need to be a panel, like your show pony. No. You guys have every opportunity to ask Fred questions all the time. I was actually live right before Ernie's live, and Freddie was in here answering questions then. Ask questions then. They just want the views. There's nothing to clear up, Cat, in the chat. You know what that was. They could come here. They could message. Ernie messages Fred all the time. He's right here. Have questions? Ask those questions that you need cleared up. Pretty much, RJ, but it's okay. She runs Fred, guys. She tells him when to speak. No. Oh, yeah. No, he's just fucking pissed off about what just happened. Gamer girl. He's pretty fucking pissed. He just gets quiet. I'm totally opposite. Oh, I run, Fred. You guys are so pathetic. Yeah, he has said everything that needs to be said. I mean, you guys can ask him every day. No, everybody knows that Goodry. Well, not everybody, but most people who are doing this shit, they already know. They're just trying to cause drama for views, and if you have questions, you can ask me here. You don't have to fucking go create a panel so you can get in a bunch of drama and get everybody lined up to try to trick us to get Fred on your panel when you message him privately If you could ask him, he'll message you. If you want something for your channel, he'll message you in voice chat. He doesn't have to go up on your fucking panel. No, we don't. He's not a YouTuber, cat in the chat. Fred never has asked to be. He's never asked to be a YouTuber. It was my channel. This is the Ziggy channel. He's never had a YouTube channel where he's put out videos, not one time. He does not have a YouTube. He does not make money on here. He does not no, he's tried to help as much as he could with information. It's for Summer Wells. It's not for YouTube and a YouTube channel. That's not what he does. Maybe it's what we do, the ones that are YouTubers. He's not a YouTuber. Right, missing link. Asked Ernie what his point was for doing this night, and he will not answer. He says he's done working on this. Yeah, because that's what made Fred worried. When Ernie said when he was going to do a live, and then he's like, we had a bad feeling. We thought something was up. And then Ernie took it like I was attacking him about this Cody Compton. No, I fucking wasn't, dude. I was just trying to say, stop, repeat it correctly, how it really happened. Ernie's so afraid of being wrong, and people find out he's wrong about something. Yes, we're all human. Oh, no, I can see why he got the wrong picture of the guy. They look exactly alike, and their names are the same. I can't blame him for that. I'm just saying, Fred was and yes, Fred knows both those Codys, and yes, he did say they're both affiliated with the same gang, but he was specifically talking about the 35, I can't help it that you guys, I'm so tired. There's so many people in this case that have the same names, have nicknames, Even I know he doesn't really want anything to do with YouTube, but answers questions if asked. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, people saying, oh, he inserted himself in the case. No, he's just trying to help. Like, and he was really trying to help Ernie. I feel bad for Fred about the Ernie thing, because I don't know. For some reason, Fred kind of enjoyed watching his shows and stuff and was really trying to help him. No, what are you talking about, Lisa? He said he showed the receipts when. What are you? No, all he showed is when Fred said they're part of the same gang. Lisa, that's it. That doesn't show anything about how they got talking about them or anything. Stop, please. Use your brain. I just knew what they were doing. They were playing, or I knew what he was doing at that time. He was playing games, and because he was getting defensive, and I was not going to sit there and play elementary fucking kid games when he knew exactly what I was talking about. He was just showing you a little snippet of a conversation where Fred responded and said they're both part of the same gang. Okay, Lisa? I'm used to it. I'm used to it, but I would think at this point, like, people would, when it could be a really critical time in the case. We don't know what this tip exactly was about. I wish they would freaking say something, but just like the Andy being on the road thing, they're not going to probably say a fucking thing. Lisa, you know you mean Jensen? You know what they're talking about, Lisa. Yeah, that's Jensen, Justin Jensen. So all I went live for is just letting you guys know. Of course, we'll continue the collaboration if, later on, if we end up doing any more like pre-records with, there'll be pre-records, they won't be live probably with SweetiePielo, just because, just like somebody came in to try to trigger Donna or one of us, like that's what they're trying to do, is trigger us and get us off what we need to do. Okay. I'm trying to keep this as professional as possible because of look what happens. I knew that's why we don't have to go to people's panels and you can ask here or you can message us privately. They're thinking that he turned in a tip though, Lisa. He said he did say he turned in a tip about something to do with brothers. And that's what they're talking about. Well, Robo Granny, I know he could be used. Like I was as far as a witness, but my guess is it's probably not even going to go to trial. Like I was talking to somebody else, but still, like he's already answered everything to answer and talk about. It's already pretty much everything's out there. Why should it matter where the tip came from? All that should matter is the movement. I think that if we knew I think it's people want to know where the tip came from for credibility, because we've heard a lot of people say things like they're absolutely, so much rumors and stuff and speculation. So it's always hard to, if you know where something comes from, consider the source, right? So I think people want to know, but it's just really strange to me how where do people's common sense go? It's just like goes right out the window. And when I get super upset like that, guys, I cannot think clearly, and that's why they try to do that shit to me, so that they get me on the spot, so I act a fool. If Fred I can't help it if Fred does not want to go on people's panels, guys. If I was his handler and stuff and manager, I would be like, Fred, get up. Quit being, I'd be like, get your ass up on that panel right now. Chop, chop. If I'm his handler and stuff, like, and also, would you guys want if you can feel something is not right about a situation, why would I encourage Fred to go up on panel anyways? I am his wife at the end of the day. If I feel something's off, but he does what he wants. I promise you that. I know Fred seems like a timid, shy man, and he is a quiet to himself person, but he is very, very willful and does what he wants. I promise you that. I know, Robo. I really like when Benny is, focused and being, and I am sorry that I accused them of being on drugs, but I'm just like, why are you back to these games? I don't know. I guess I was just hoping, like, they're up to no good, yeah. And it got close, and Fred almost did try to talk. He was about to start talking, but he couldn't freaking hear over the speaker. My computer was too low, and he has those hearing aids, but they were like acting up, and he was trying to turn them up and stuff, and he couldn't fucking hear them, and he was mad and irritated. And they're connected by Bluetooth, and so and he was listening on his phone. Then he'd have to turn that off. It's hard to explain, but he was about here. He was right next to me and about to start talking until like one of them said something stupid, and he just like walked away, and he got frustrated with the sound, and he just walked away, and I didn't see him again. So I can't freaking force him to. Why would I force him? I didn't feel comfortable with the panel myself, so why am I going to ask Fred to go up there and be, when I'm used to this bullshit of dealing with people like that in these situations? Why would I put Fred up there to be like ripped apart and just yelled and talked over? And I know I was yelling, but I knew what they were up to, guys. And that's why, Misty, I said that about, thank you, Whole November Rain. And thank you to Sweet Pea. I saw that. What did I get? Oh. And just in case, we recorded the whole conversation with Ernie because he's rewriting history. We don't plan on putting it out, but do not lie about what happened, Ernie. He just put like that, there was a reason. Fred just trusted him with the information when he was talking to him about it. He was just talking to him about this guy being in that area. And Ernie acted like he wanted to put it out. And Fred was just like, just don't put me, don't mention me. And he's like, I have family and I'm still in the area. I don't want to put my family in danger. And Ernie acted like he understood. And then here he goes, today because he got something wrong about the Cody guy. All of a sudden he wants to put it all on Fred. Like, I'm like, dude, he wasn't even talking about Kingsport Cody. He was talking about and you know that. He just told you they happen to be part of the same gang. Okay? He did say that. Then he contacts the guy. He claims the guy messages him. Okay, that's what he claims. This guy messaged him and said, "Oh, well, he said he wasn't, but at the same time says, oh, the guy cleaned up his act. He's trying to do good, which is great. We weren't talking about him to begin with. Why would we be talking about a guy that has nothing to do? He has nothing to do with that area." And I'm pretty sure I was live for, let's see, how long was I live? Right before. I don't know. I don't really. Analytics. Hour 42 minutes. I was live for almost 2 hours right before Ernie's live. And Fred was in the background. He's in the background all the time. How many times do you guys listen to Killer Looks videos, recaps and stuff, and you hear Fred, he's recapping, and Killer Looks is putting together videos, and he's putting together the things Fred has said from the background of my videos, of background of my lives. Fred is always here usually, but because of this bullshit today, he's not really hanging around. He's kind of irritated with YouTube at the moment. So, but usually, as you guys know, as the regulars know, he's always here, answering questions all the time. So this bullshit, acting like he's freaking hiding and not answering questions, just because he won't fucking go on your panel, he doesn't have to go on your guys' panel to answer a question, okay? And if people can't see through that bullshit and what that's really about, then I'm sorry, because it's quite apparent to me what somebody's trying to do when they have a direct line to Fred, but yet they're trying to summon him on panel. Acting like they need answers. Well, use this, Fred will messages you all the time. Ask him there. Or if you want him to send you a voice message, he'll send you a voice message to use on your channel, And Ernie knew that. He did all the time, would send voice messages to Ernie so he could put it in his channel. Or comments, or whatever, when he'd ask Fred a question. I'm really tired of these people, buddying up with us and acting, this is another fucking attempt to try to trick us from it's another trick, trying to trick us because we don't want to be a part of your panel. Just like Cher tried to trick us and turn that into something like it was going to be really good. And and Fred she knew he really wanted this lie detector test and stuff. And she knew how Fred didn't want to go on panels and stuff. Well, she kind of worked us into it slowly. And then right at the, end, pulled the rug from under our feet. And this is the same thing. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Ernie's intention from the beginning, but I have I don't know if you guys could go watch that shit. It seems pretty apparent how he ended the live and talking shit about me and how this and that. And like when I didn't even say anything negative about him at all. That showed me that, yeah, it was a setup because there was nothing that I said bad about Ernie. Why would he start attacking me? Just because I said Fred wasn't the one that mentioned the one from Kingsport? You did? You're the one that got the picture wrong? And you showed Fred and asked him and you said, that's not him. Fred told you that was not him, but they're part of the same gang. Yes, he said that. And we've recorded the conversation just in case you want to fucking change reality. Just in case somebody goes through and decides to delete things a certain way. May change reality. I don't know why Ernie, there was nothing that I was saying that was negative towards, and I understand my voice might sound pretty pissed off and pretty bitchy, but I don't take kindly to a setup where there's certain ones waiting in the wings to attack. Oh, suddenly here comes Remain Calm on panel. I'm like, she just kind of shows up every day. This lunatic has been streaming all my lives and talking shit from what I'm hearing from you guys. This girl has no interest in the truth or asking questions. She's emailed me before. She could email me and ask questions. No, she is trying to get that moment for her channel. This is not what that's about, guys. It's about Summer Wells. If you want answers, if you truly want to help, and if you really have true questions, you can contact us. But Fred is not going to be on your panel, guys, because he doesn't want to. Not because of me. He doesn't want to. I just know him well enough to know he's not going on your fucking panel. It takes enough convincing, for him to even come in here, really, and answer his question. He doesn't like the attention. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I've said that since the beginning. Nothing has changed. He didn't go make a YouTube channel to put out his story or go live or anything. He's never done that. He didn't ask to be thrown in the middle of this and to see Andy on the road and his life to be turned upside down either. Oh, I guess I wasn't seeing your guys' comments. Yeah. So, yeah, I did get really, really upset because I hope you guys understand why I got like that and got very crazy. Because this is not a fucking game. I'm tired of the games. If you guys have real questions, we will answer them. But don't sit here and use us as your little circus side acts, like for your channels, streamer shit, and sit there just to make fun of it. Or try to trick us to get us in your chat and on your panel. You guys know I don't watch this. I don't watch this stuff myself. Fred would not. If he got arrested, he won't be, Maggie. They would have done it by now. He was the key person that worked with police. If he did, let's say if he was involved, yeah, I've already answered that question, Maggie, moron. Maggie, moron. Maggie, moron. Yeah, and then when I say things about like, oh, I'm gonna leave YouTube or I'm gonna take a break. Oh, I get people like legit mad at me for abandoning Summer. You guys can't have. Am I grifting or am I abandoning Summer? Which one should I pick? Because either way I go, I'm screwed, right? I guess I will just do what I feel is the right thing. And I feel like putting out what we feel, or I feel like Fred's very important. I've told you guys that since the beginning. He just happens to be my husband now. Yeah, I had a feeling that's where so that's why maybe I came up there already on guard, because we already had a feeling. We were already talking before that live, like, that we thought something was up. Because we noticed that I don't know, I'm sorry. And then the only thing Benny can say is stir and talk shit about the psychic stuff and me doing tarot. That's not what this is about, guys. We shouldn't have to sit here and make fun of people. What does that have to do with true crime and getting answers? I don't want to be a part of it. Make fun of me on your channels and make fun of Fred on your channels. But we're not going to be a fucking part of it. We're not going to be on your panels just to sit there and make a mockery of it. Why would we do that? Thank you, Lisa. And anybody who knows Paul, please let him know we have nothing to do with this tip whatsoever. I hope that they let him know that. I don't know. Or let him know the origin. They probably didn't say directly us, but I'm saying I hope they let him know like the origin and why they were there. Or did they just tell him a tip? It was not us. When I say us, it was not Fred or me. Right, Annie? And there's a reason why I don't do impromptu panels and stuff, like, because I do get upset on, when I feel like people are playing, like, using me as their or me or Fred as their ways to get views and cause drama and have a big, why? What's that? What good does that do? That does no good when it comes to Summer Wells. We've been trying to clear up things over here and telling people come in here and ask us questions, message us. It's not about giving us views or clicks. You can message us. I know, and that's what I meant about that's why I said what I said. Okay? I don't know what he's doing. That's why I said it, because it's reminding me of his old self. That's why I said that, and I'm sorry that I said it like that. But it was a setup from the beginning, and they know it. And no, I don't think so, KCK. He was purposely, you didn't see his video and stuff that he was saying, like, and stuff he was insinuating. That's not true. He absolutely was. You see that video he posted about Fred laying there in his jacket and boots with a cute picture? I mean, that's stuff like that. He had been making little things. This wasn't the first time that I've said something. I've talked privately to people for the last few days about why Benny's been acting like this. It's not just like something I noticed. But it's cool now, so I guess we talked out. I don't know. He obviously has something against me and Fred that I didn't know about. But I don't know. I think we're cool. I don't know how that shit ended like that with that. I don't know now. So either way, I'm cool. I don't care. I'm cool with them no matter what. I don't hold grudges or anything. I have more important things to focus my time on, and it's not going to be some kind of YouTube drama. So trust and believe I won't put much energy into it or thought. We just will not go on. Like I said, we're not going on people's panels. You guys can always message us or email us if you have a question. Fred would even respond probably in a voice message if you wanted it for a clip for your channel, but he's not going to go on your panel. And it's just shitty that people try to trick him to go up on a panel when he's said a million times he doesn't want to go on panels. He doesn't want to do it. Can you fault the guy? It's either, 1 second people are talking about inserting himself. The next second, we can't get him on. He won't answer questions. He's here every day. He's here every day in the background. You guys ask him questions all the time. Thank you, Mimi. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I had to go use the bathroom, and I was talking to is being back too. Yeah, I mean, and I was happy that he was back. I kind of was happy that Benny was back when he was, because he can make for an interesting chat when but when we're all upset and it just gets crazy. And the thing is, it's immediately I knew that because that's what happens if I feel attacked or I feel like something's not right, I get like that. And that's why I was so upset, because I was feeling like that it was some kind of weird setup when it didn't need to be like that. I don't feel like it was paranoia. I feel like it was pretty obvious that was done on purpose. Yeah, bad crime stories, and it's probably is somebody that's related to him. It totally could be somebody. I mean, gosh, like I said, there is a lot. He has a lot of relatives. It could be. I mean, there has been. We've talked about some. Yes, we've talked about something like. I don't even want to mention people's names right now. I'm just kind of. We've mentioned other relatives of Paul, obviously, besides Fred. There's a few others that's been mentioned in this case. So it's just crazy because, Paul Hill and Fred Hill kind of sound the same. And, all of a sudden it's just like we're not going to think about any other relatives. We're just going to think about Fred. Fred had nothing to do with that tip. As far as calling it in, I wish we knew what it was about. I think Moonshine Girl. I think Jinkies was saying something about a truck, hearing something about a truck buried. Right? It doesn't. It doesn't have. And now people are trying to like. I just hate that they're trying to make this guy think that we called him the tip. Like we have nothing to do with his tip. We told Ernie it was dangerous, and he knew that, and he's still fucking. That's what pissed me off. Fred told him how dangerous it was, and he did it anyways. But once bit, twice shy. We know. I know. We both know how Ernie is, but like. Right, Robo Granny. Fred was just talking to him because Ernie was asking questions, and Fred was just talking to him about like who lived around there, and he mentioned he talked to him about a certain person living around there, and Fred said, "I don't want anything to do with it." We never asked Ernie to put it out. He put it out on his own accord. We didn't ask Ernie to put it out. And Ernie's been on panel here too. He could come up on. He could have came up earlier and came in chat earlier, ask questions. No. Oh, hey Brooke, that's sweet. It's like, we don't have to. What is it? Why are people like trying and plotting and doing weird things to try to make people look certain ways? Like, we shouldn't have to do that. If you're sitting there having to plot and stuff to try to set me or Fred up, like, it's so crazy. I'm so tired of this shit. It's like, what? I don't. I haven't even ate today yet. That's craziness, dude. I don't know. It just doesn't have to be like this, is all I have to say. And that's why I don't understand why. It's like, do you guys, I mean, you could, some people just don't truly want to answer. It just seems like a fucking game or a joke to these people. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I don't know. That's disappointing turn of events, but it's okay. Used to it, unfortunately. Saying 6-Up coming up, like, who cares? 6-Up's intimidated of me. 6-Up would never face me. She would never face me. No, yeah, she would never ever face me. She's such a fucking wannabe. It's gross. She goes up on somebody's panel recently to give them an update about the whole search and stuff. It's like, bitch, I thought you did it. I thought you were trying to get, I thought I was a Summer Wells grifter. Why are you up there talking about Summer Wells? You are such a nobody. Go away. Like, how do you guys sit there and talk shit about other people covering Summer Wells, then go up on a Summer Wells panel to give a fucking update? And then go to Ben Hill like a month before. You're so desperate wanting to be like me. Getting really buddy with Fred's sister and stuff. You're a creep. You are a creep. Oh, by the way, I saw you say, somebody sent me where you said that Fred's a creep and peeks in people's windows. And oh yeah, I love how you fucking say this shit, but show zero proof. You are the creep and peek in people's windows. Like, I have to keep my windows and doors locked because you are scary. Do you understand that? The first person I think of when my car gets busted in is you, 6-Up. Do you understand that? Like, I don't have enemies. You are crazy and scary. Because it's very, very, very creepy. Like, what is she doing visiting Ben Hill and weird shit like that and going up about, if you have such a problem with people, grifters in the Summer Wells case, well, you're streaming me and making more money and sitting there and collecting more on Super Chats, but calling me a grifter? You've got to be kidding me. You're pathetic and need a life. It's disgusting. Well, and even she did it, Annie. It's like, what she's saying here all day, every day, streaming my content to talk shit about me, covering Summer Wells. Well, she's fucking doing the same thing. Talking about peeking in windows, who's more likely? That girl is so, everybody knows she's obsessed with me. Everybody. Nobody could say any differently. She's the one that's probably peeking in windows and creeping. Let's be honest here. God. Like, come on. Here comes the woman again with 14 fucking mugshots to be some type of, like, act like she, oh, I talked to many locals. Why were you talking to locals about Fred? You weirdo. You are obsessed. So you're going to the locals and talking to locals about the Summer Wells case is what you're saying, but you show zero proof of that, but just say, oh, I talked to locals and they say Fred's a creep. Fred is the least creepiest guy like I think I've ever met. He is not like a lot of dudes. He doesn't sit there and he's just, I don't know. He's very, very, very respectful. She does have some kind of thing for me or something. Like, what is wrong with her? Dude, you are obsessed. You go and fucking get with my husband's sister. And then you visit Ben Hill and talk to people about me. Like, what? While you're sitting there streaming me every night and talking shit about what you claim I do and claim I've made all, like I'm grifting in Summer's name. No, we're trying to get this. We want this stuff over with so I could fucking just move on in my life. I really do. Beyond Summer Wells, I really don't feel like I don't know. You're not going to catch me moving on to the next hot case. You're just not going to. I'm not like, some of these others that jump to the next hot case. You don't see me doing that. We might discuss it just in passing, but I'm not going from case to case to case. This is my life now. I want this, once this shit's over, once her case is solved, I don't really have much beyond to talk. I'm not going to talk about other cases. I'm not going to get my life wrapped up in ever again. You think I really want to do a redo of this? Yeah, bedtime crime stories, 14 mugshots. And she has a minor child she has nothing to do with. Guys, should we take another poll like we did last year? Is 666 going to have Thanksgiving this year, or is she going to have Zigsgiving? Is she going to have Christmas this year, or is she going to have Zigmas? Remember last year she skipped Thanksgiving with her family to fucking talk Ziggy? Should we take a poll? She does. I mean, there's an obsession and plus she's making money off of it at the same time, so, getting to call me a grifter. She'll sit there and stream a live. I get 0 super chats and call me a grifter and all this while she's bringing in super chats, people encouraging her to fuck with my life, to go to call CPS, call Fred's probation. She's encouraging people to attack my channels, report them, for no reason. I never have to do that. I don't do that stuff. I have text, guys, that were sent to me by that woman's ex-boyfriend who was begging me to put out these texts between him and 666's minor son, where he's calling his mother a piece of shit, saying she can't get off the Xanax, blah, blah, blah. He was begging me to put this stuff out, but I didn't because the kid was a minor at the time and still is. And because I just want her to go away and leave me alone. This isn't a competition or a back and forth, me and her. She's nobody to me. She's the one that's made me the most important person in her life. She's nobody to me. Her number says it all. She goes by, well, she doesn't go by 666, but we call her that here because that's how she acts, and when you hear her, she sounds like a demon. I'm so horrible, right? But I've had texts, I've had her ex boyfriend was begging me to help ruin her and stuff. I don't care about her. I want her to go, I just want her to go away. And I feel sorry for her son. Her son was like in these texts, like crying, saying his mother's a piece of shit and wish she would get off the pills. And that she was fucked up again on Xanax. Mom's fucked up on Xanax again. So, anyways. Yeah. And everybody just thinks it's fucking normal, Well, I can't say everybody thinks it's normal. Some of you guys in here, he was like crying to me about her. I mean, it was sad. Saying that how mean, yeah, we know she's mean. We know she's hateful. We know she's a psycho. But I just want her to leave me alone. I don't care, I have other things to focus on. So, all right, guys, I'm just going to go. Yeah, I mean, if Fred doesn't want to go on people's panels, he doesn't want to fucking go on people's panels. Like, point blank. Ernie knew that. He knew that from the beginning, and he tried to trick Fred into getting on his panel and tried to trick him also with other people there lined up, waiting to attack. And that's just not how, we're not doing that. We're just not going to be part of the shit show. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, if you need to unsubscribe because I'm offensive, then I've never seen you before, Peterson, but I have a reason to be upset. I'm sorry you're not going to always like everything I say and do. That'd be pretty not normal if you agree with everything I say and do, because you should have your own opinions and your own, so you're not going to approve everything. I'm not going to change who I am, though. I'm sorry. If you want to turn it while I'm in this type of mood and while I am using F-bombs, I rarely am like this, but when I'm upset, yes. So maybe just check back next time. If you need to unsubscribe, I understand. Anyways, guys, everybody have a good night.